It was a regular Monday morning at the busy retail store of a well-known supermarket chain. Employees rushed in and out, customers filled their carts, and the hum of barcode scanners echoed through the aisles. No one noticed that a man wearing a simple shirt and khakis had walked in quietly and begun working the floor. He looked like any ordinary new hire, perhaps part of the cleaning staff or a junior assistant. But what no one knew was that this new employee was actually the CEO of the company, working undercover to learn firsthand about the daily struggles of his staff. He had been planning this secret visit for months. Inspired by stories of disconnected management, he wanted to reconnect with the people who truly made the company run, the frontline workers. The CEO had changed his appearance, undergone basic training, and even spent time memorizing shift patterns and procedures just to blend in unnoticed. His goal wasn't just to observe, but to listen, to connect, and to find the silent stories no one dared to speak out loud. That morning, while organizing a shelf in aisle 7, he noticed a young girl behind the cashier counter. She was barely in her 20s, with tired eyes and a polite smile that didn't quite reach her soul. Her name tag read, Emily. She greeted each customer with mechanical cheer, but something about her demeanor felt forced, like she was trying to hold herself together. The CEO continued his shift without drawing attention. He took mental notes of the way employees treated each other, how supervisors responded to pressure, and how the culture felt from the ground up. But he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off with Emily. Later that day, during his lunch break, he decided to take a detour into the employee break room. It was a small, slightly cramped space with a vending machine, 2 plastic tables, and a flickering fluorescent light. As he pushed open the door, he froze. There, sitting in the far corner with her knees pulled up to her chest, was Emily, quietly crying. She tried to wipe away the tears quickly when she noticed someone had entered. Embarrassed, she turned her face away and said, "Sorry, I didn't think anyone would come in here right now." The CEO didn't say anything at first. He simply grabbed a bottle of water from the vending machine, sat down at the table across from her, and gently said, "Rough day?" Emily nodded, but didn't speak. "You don't have to talk if you don't want to," he added softly. "Sometimes just having someone nearby helps." For a moment, there was silence. Then, as if a dam had broken, Emily began to speak. She told him how she had just started working 2 weeks ago. Her mom had been in the hospital for months with a chronic illness. Her younger brother, just 10 years old, was struggling with school. Their father had walked out years ago. Emily had dropped out of college to take care of everything. The job was a blessing, but also a burden. She was exhausted. The managers were kind enough, but they didn't know the weight she carried. No one did, and then she said something that shattered him. "I come in here every break just to cry for 5 minutes, because I don't want customers to see me like this. I smile because I need this job. But sometimes, I wonder how long I can keep pretending I'm okay." The CEO, still undercover, felt a lump in his throat. He had come to observe employees, but what he found was far deeper, a broken system that allowed quiet suffering to go unnoticed. He didn't reveal his identity then. Instead, he offered her kind words, encouragement, and promised her, "Things will change for you. You deserve better." That evening, he returned to his office. The next morning, things began to shift. First, a new employee assistance program was introduced, providing counseling services, flexible scheduling for those with medical family needs, and small hardship grants. The company announced it was opening a new fund specifically for employees going through personal crises, no questions asked, just compassionate help. The CEO, now back in his suit and tie, walked into the store again the next week. This time, he was accompanied by senior executives. He asked for Emily to be brought to the manager's office. She walked in nervously, assuming she was in trouble. But then she saw the man from the break room standing in the corner. Only now he wasn't in khakis. He was in a crisp navy suit, with a company badge that identified him as the CEO. "Emily," he said, smiling warmly. "You probably didn't expect to see me like this. But I remember everything you shared. And I want you to know, we're here for you." Emily stood frozen, her mouth slightly open, unable to comprehend what was happening. He continued, "Your strength and honesty changed this company. Because of you, we realized we needed to care for our people not just as workers, but as human beings. Today, I'm proud to offer you a full scholarship to return to college whenever you're ready. And your job here is safe until then." Tears filled her eyes, but this time, they weren't from pain. They were from gratitude. The room filled with applause from the staff present. A moment that started in silent sorrow had transformed into one of hope and healing. Word spread quickly across the company. Employees began sharing their own stories, and the management began listening. Not everything changed overnight, but it sparked a new movement within the organization, a culture where empathy was not a weakness, but a strength. Emily eventually returned to college and completed her degree. She went on to work in human resources, dedicating her life to improving employee wellness programs. And the CEO? He continued his undercover visits, never announcing them in advance, always looking for the quiet corners where real stories lived. That single moment in the break room reminded everyone that leadership isn't just about profits or expansion, it's about people. It's about choosing compassion when no one is watching, listening when others remain silent, and acting not from obligation but from humanity. This story reminds us that we never know what someone is going through behind their smile. A kind word, a gentle question, or even just being present can make all the difference. It's not always about fixing everything, it's about letting someone know they're not alone. As you go about your day, remember the quiet battles others may be fighting. Choose empathy, choose kindness, because you might just be the light someone needs in their darkest moment. Thank you for watching Soul Stirring Stories. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. We share new tales every week designed to inspire, uplift, and connect us all through the power of storytelling.